Alright, you guys, can you guys hear me? People were asking some questions, so I'm going to assume you guys can hear me and start answering them. I've not watched Stranger Things yet. I plan to. I know the second season's coming out. I kind of figured I'd watch it closer to when that happens. Yeah, guys, so you guys can hear me. Good. Love your theories and reviews. Thank you. What do I do when I'm not on YouTube? I mostly sit around. I play video games a lot. I just finished putting together a new Magic the Gathering deck from the Amonkhet set. I've not watched 13 Reasons Why. I watched a little bit of it. I know some people who watched it. It's interesting. Like, I will admit the premise is very interesting. But it's not really for me. What would I say my favorite animation of all time is? Show, movie, miniseries, whatever. It's a really hard question. I don't even know how to answer that. I'm going to have to think about that. Which is the worst Cartoon Network reboot? Technically speaking, Teen Titans Go is not a reboot. It's supposed to be... Its original premise was that it was supposed to be the Teen Titans from the old show during their off hours. So I don't know that I count it a reboot. But man, it's really bad. I would say it's still probably worse than Powerpuff Girls or Ben 10. I love AJ's theories because they're planned out and have been thoroughly backed up with evidence. I'm glad. That's what I try to do. Though even I get into the speculative ones every once in a while. Thoughts on Blue Diamond so far and predictions for the future. There's another one up there I'll answer in a second. I like her. I think she's interesting. She's definitely more complex than I originally thought she was going to end up being. Thoughts for the future. I think she's going to turn on Yellow Diamond because I think Yellow Diamond orchestrated Pink Diamond's death. Somebody asked if I had any pets. Yes, I have 3 dogs. They're actually in the room with me, but they're sleeping, or else I'd bring them over here to see you. But if I wake them up, they'll just get all worked up. Did I watch the original Ben 10? Yes, I loved it. What do you think of White Diamond being involved in Pink Diamond shattering? I've said this before. I think White Diamond is in charge of everyone overall. I think she's the diamond of diamonds. So I think if she wanted Pink Diamond shattered, all she would have had to do was order it. And therefore, I don't think she was involved in the way that we've seen it happen. Am I an atheist? No. And that's all I'm going to get into on that. Was I into Digimon back in the 90s and the early 2000s? I've been into Digimon since it first aired in the United States, so yes. Do I live alone? No. I have a roommate. You see Powerpuff Girls 2016 is the worst. Man, it's getting pretty freaking close, in my opinion, too, so that is perfectly valid. Yeah, it's really bad. No Pokemon Go. I'm assuming that's in response to asking what I do when I'm not on YouTube. Yeah, I play that a lot. It's just so hot right now. I haven't been able to walk. I mostly have to drive places and grab a couple Pokemon Pokestops and then come back. But yeah, I play it. It's just it's hot around here. It's close to 90 degrees and it's super humid in my area, and we aren't used to temperatures like that, so it's pretty difficult. Could a gem morph male genitalia and get a female human pregnant and not lose their gem? Theoretically, but their gem would still have to sustain whatever simulated genetic material they gave to that woman, so I don't know how permanent it would be. The only reason Rose was able to make a permanent offspring is because she actually bonded with Greg's DNA permanently. Do I know when Reunited is airing? No, I don't. I'm sorry. Thank you for getting me into Yu-Gi-Oh! You're welcome. I'm actually planning to do another Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, to restart my Yu-Gi-Oh! Reviews next week, which reminds me, any Yu-Gi-Oh! Fans in this stream, what's the worst current cartoon, in my opinion? SpongeBob. I think the current run of SpongeBob is the worst thing I've ever seen. Because it used to be such a great show, and it's gone on too long. Any Yu-Gi-Oh fans in the stream, let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts on the character of Shoddy from the original series, if you know who that is? I'm just curious, because when I was a kid, there was a lot of controversy about that character, and I want to know if that discourse still exists at all. I know this isn't going to help, because there's probably only like 2 of you in here, but whatever. What's my favorite Ben 10 series? Probably Ultimate Alien, because it had a good mix of character and action, and it was really robust and colorful, and they went to a lot of interesting locations. Any idea about how my Centipede had babies? They weren't actually babies, they were just projections, like Hollow Pearls. They just looked different, they were more solid. My dogs are awake, man. How's The Simpsons? I never really watched the old Simpsons, so I can't really judge the new Simpsons based on it. I'm planning on going back and watching some older ones to understand why everybody loved it so much. Shoddy did right by doing wrong. I can agree with that. Like, the controversy I'm talking about is a lot of people, like when I was a kid, people who watched the show used to criticize Shoddy for being kind of a racist stereotype. Yeah, here's somebody pointing out that he was a stereotype. Now, I don't know if that's just because I watched the dub when I was a kid. Like, I watched some of the stuff, the subtitle episode stuff, and it didn't seem as bad. My favorite anime, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Am I interested in Apple Monsters? I watched a little bit of it. One of my friends keeps telling me I should watch more of it. But, so far, I haven't gotten that far into it. It hasn't really resonated much with me, but I like the idea of doing additional stuff in the Digimon universe. Is the original Yu-Gi-Oh my favorite? Yeah, probably, but not the anime. I like the original manga. I think the manga is a much higher quality than the anime. Later anime tended to be a much higher quality than the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist anime. Otherwise, it's probably Arc 5 has been my favorite. But Vrains might actually beat it out because it actually cares about story and character and setting, which most of them don't. Am I excited for the Incredible sequels? Yes. You watched the dub too, and Shoddy always seemed like a mystical guide. Yeah, okay, I could see that. I'm just trying to, because the next chapter of the manga that I'm reviewing is his debut, and I'm trying to decide if I should talk about the fact that he, in some of his portrayals, is a little bland and stereotypical and racist, or if it's worth just ignoring it completely. Here's to another 2 years. Thank you. Do I have a favorite Pokemon? Yeah, it's either Pikachu or Espeon, or maybe I really like Growlithe too. Do you think we'll see Bismuth again? When do you think we'll see Bismuth again? I don't know. But our Sugar is very adamant when she says that no character is like a once-off character. So I'm sure we'll see her again eventually, and I can't imagine it would be too far into the future. Is the new Spider-Man the best? 2 was really good. But I thought 2 did a lot of things that weren't in the spirit of Spider-Man, which I'm not going to get into here. Maybe I'll talk about it at some point. I think that this movie, I think Homecoming was just as good as 2, if not better. I still haven't quite sorted out my feelings about it. I think it was at least as good, if not better. And felt more like Spider-Man to me. So yeah, I do think it was the best. My favorite gem is Garnet. Did I watch Avatar / Korra? Yes, absolutely, and I'm so looking forward to Turf War. It's going to be amazing. What do I think Quartz's weapon would be? Right now, I think it's probably going to be an umbrella, but that's probably going to end up being wrong, just because I think it's right. Vrains is very similar to 5Ds. That's what they do now. They have a darker, more gritty show, and one series, and then the next series will be more bright and colorful. It's a pattern. It breaks every once in a while, but that tends to be the pattern. Do I think we'll ever see Pink Diamond being shattered? I don't see how we would. Maybe in a flashback, but even then it wouldn't be technically reliable. We might see, maybe there's a recording of it that'll turn up later or something that'll be reliable, but I doubt it. Not in a way where I'd be satisfied that it's 100% true. Would I ever make Magic the Gathering content on my channel? No, because I suck at the game. Like, that's not exactly true. I don't suck at the game. I'm actually really good at the game. I suck at deck building. I theme my decks too much. So it wouldn't actually be helpful to anybody. What do I think of the new era of Cartoon Network and what's to come? I honestly don't know. I haven't been keeping up with their upcoming schedule much. I don't like where they're at now, though. I can tell you that right now. They were so disrespectful to the finale of regular show. That pissed me off. Do I think Vox is right about Steven Universe being renewed for a 6th and 7th season? Yeah, based on what we've heard from Cartoon Network and the crew so far, they've at least been renewed through season 6, and I think season 7 is pretty likely too. Did you hear about the possibility of Metroid anime? I did not. That looks interesting. Do I play Settlers of Catan or Risk? I play Risk. I used to play Risk. I haven't played in a while. Being so entertaining, you helped me through losing my legs. Oh, I'm sorry that happened to you, but I'm glad I could be of help. Yeah, you agree about regular show. You agree that sucked. Yeah, it's like, just I'm not even gonna get into it because I'll rant about it for hours if I do. How many seasons do I think it'll end up running? If it's true and it has been renewed through season 7, I think that'll be the last one. I don't really see them being able to stretch it much further than that. My hair is great, thank you. What do I think of Gumball? I don't watch it all the time. I don't catch every single new episode, but I really like it. It's one of those shows I can turn on and just turn off my brain and enjoy it, or even go back and rewatch certain episodes and find some really interesting stuff to talk about in them, because it's actually a really intelligent show. Do I think it'll end with the Diamonds somehow being defeated? In a way, yeah. I think what's most likely to happen is that there will be a tenuous peace formed between Earth and the Diamonds, with the Diamonds being open to learning new ways for Gemkind and assessing whether or not they're more viable than what they've been doing. Favorite Cartoon Network series besides Steven Universe? Adventure Time is really good. I haven't watched it in a while, though. I need to get caught up. Gumball is pretty good. I don't know. Thoughts on Rick and Morty? I'm glad you got a prosthetic, buddy. Still, that's got to be rough. Thoughts on Rick and Morty? I need to watch more of it. I still haven't watched more of it. But what I've seen of it still isn't my thing. I keep hearing that that's going to change, though, so I'm just going to wait. We'll talk about that later. I think Steven's room is psychic, and that rose quartz is a part of Steven's mind. And that's all. It also has partial control of the room. I agree with that. I think that's absolutely true. Have I seen the Lego Batman movie? Yes, it was good. I didn't like the end. I didn't like the way that they fixed the city. Let's put it that way. I didn't like the way they fixed the damage to the city. I thought it was really pat and stupid, but the rest of the movie was great. I watched a little bit of Archer, not a lot. Which fusion would I most like to see in the future? I want to see a Peridot fusion, because I want to confirm that she can fuse. I think she can. I think it's just a matter of she doesn't know how, and so at this point in time she can't. I I'd really like to see that, but I'd also like to see a Lapis fusion, because I think it would be character development, and holy crap, Lapis needs character development. How do I think Steven Universe... And I mentioned this a second ago. I think they're going to come to some sort of treaty with the Diamonds, a tenuous peace, where the Diamonds kind of allow Gems to experience Earth in a different way of life, so they can assess if the way of life for Earth Gems is better than what they've been doing. Yeah, how they fixed the city was dumb. Yeah, I don't want to spoil it, what actually happened, in case people haven't seen it. But it was just silly. It was, I mean, because it's a Lego movie, and they acknowledge their Lego in universe, right? So it kind of makes sense. It was silly though. Do I think we will see a gem get shattered on screen? Is that a stretch for Can? I don't know what you mean by that. It's possible. I don't know, though, because Rebecca doesn't seem to like to kill people permanently. Do I watch Family Guy? I used to watch Family Guy. It was good before it got canceled. I think there were good aspects of it before it got canceled, but I don't watch it anymore. Adam West's death. Man, I haven't been that affected by a celebrity death since... shoot, Leonard Nimoy, probably. It hit me hard. He seemed like such a cool guy, and I loved the old Batman. Whenever I could watch it, it would be on reruns. And then the Hub, before it turned into, what is it now, Discovery Kids or something, ran it late at night, and I got to watch it then. It was such a fun show. Really bummed me out. Comments on the art book thing. Are we talking about Concrete now? I knew this was going to come up. I talked about it a lot on my Tumblr already. I wouldn't have even known about it until it started popping up on my Tumblr, except Vox mentioned it to me. So thank him for me being able to form such a complex opinion about it. I never thought it was a racist thing. I'll keep that one in mind for later. I never thought it was a racist thing. I always thought it was just kind of like a perfect storm of things that came off as racist. And I'm not about to condemn the crew for this one alleged instance of racism. So my attitude was more sit back and wait, see if they say anything about it. I think they definitely needed to make a statement about it, at the very least. And they did. Lamar and Rebecca have both come out and apologized. And it's going to be removed from future printings of the book. So, as far as I'm concerned, it's resolved. What was that I was going to keep in mind? Do I like cosplay? Do I do cosplay? I've thought about cosplaying as Steven or as Greg. But I would tend to prefer to cosplay as somebody with something close to my body type, so it's a little difficult. I thought I'd go to a convention as Seuss at some point. I thought that might be fun. See, are there any more up here, since I'm scrolled up in the comments? In the chat, rather. Do fusions know that they're fusions? Yes, absolutely. Would I ship Lapis and Steven? Absolutely not. Do I like how Pat Paracha is a representation of special needs people? I'm not 100% sure yet that she is. I think she's coded so that she can be representative of them in future episodes. And I think it's a great idea, just so long as they continue to write her well. That would be an amazing Greg or Seuss. Thank you. I have the Greg shirt. It's back on my rack of clothes back there. The Black Star. Nice doggo. Yeah, they're fighting in the background now. In case you can't hear them. Making a lot of noise. I'm going to have to yell at them to stop in a minute. Do I think Pink and Blue Diamond ever fused? Yes, I have a whole video about it. Go watch it 10 times so I can get some ad revenue. Thank you, Rupert. God, my favorite Pokemon game is Heart Gold, probably. How many gems do I think can fuse at once? Literally all of them. They just wouldn't stay fused for very long, unless they somehow managed to remain in sync for a ridiculously long amount of time with so many minds working at once. Yeah, Heart Gold was great. Like, Gold and Silver. Gen 2 is my favorite generation anyway. Heart Gold was just such a perfect remake. What happened to the crew seemed racist? I will let you go find this out for yourself. It's the Concrete Controversy, or the Concrete Discourse. Google it. Go on Tumblr. Search it. It's everywhere. I think Pink Diamond was a nice diamond who wanted to protect the Earth. No, if she had been, Rose wouldn't have had to kill her. She would have sided with Rose. Favorite episode of Steven Universe? Oh, jeez. Mindful Education, probably. I wish they would implement the walking Pokemon again. Yes. You know, that almost made it into Sun and Moon, apparently. There's walking animations for most of the Pokemon in the game, in the game's code. That would have been really cool. Jailbreak is your favorite? Yeah, Jailbreak's probably my second. Am I into Kingdom Hearts? Absolutely. I need to go back and replay all of them, though. I've still not played Birth by Sleep. And with the new one now having been 100% confirmed, I need to go back and replay them, because the plot's very confusing and I don't remember a lot of it. Have I played Splatoon? No. I want to, though. Do I think the Temple Fusion would be comparable to in power to a Diamond? Yeah, but I think Alexandrite or Succulite might be, too. I don't think the Diamonds are all powerful or anything. Death Note, though. Is that about the favorite anime thing? Death Note's good. I liked it. I thought it ended stupid, though. I thought Light going out like a little bitch was out of character. What happens to the minds of individual gems when a fusion develops their own personality? They remain, and the fusion's personality is just another personality in their mind space. Do I read any SU fanfics? No, I'll read an AU every once in a while, but I don't follow any. What if Yellow forced Rose to kill Pink because Pink was considering joining the Crystal Gems? I don't know. That's really convoluted. It would have had to be like a perfect storm in terms of timing for something like that to happen. So it's possible, but I just don't think that's what happened. I'm firing shots at Light. Yes, I am. What of it? Who do I think is the most powerful single gem, not counting the diamonds, that we've seen? Jasper, probably. Do I smoke? No. Do I think Say Uncle would be a better episode if it took up an Uncle Grandpa slot instead of Steven Universe slot? Absolutely. Absolutely. Because Uncle Grandpa is already kind of a garbage show anyway. Put that garbage episode with it. No, I'm exaggerating a little bit. There were some good moments in it. But yes, I do think if it had been an Uncle Grandpa episode and we had still gotten a regular Steven Universe episode that week, I would be much more forgiving of it. Do I think Lars would be able to go through another hair portal like his own? No. I think it would implode the universe if he did. Thoughts on the Wonder Woman movie? I'm actually reviewing it soon. I'm going to have my mom in it. Spoiler. I'm going to have my mom in the review because she's been a Wonder Woman fan since before I existed. So I'm going to get her thoughts, and then I'm going to talk about my thoughts. So wait for that. It's going to be fun. Not 100% sure how I'm going to do it yet, because she's not in town for a couple of weeks, except for very brief periods of time. But we'll figure it out. I may end up doing my review of Spider-Man Homecoming before my review of Wonder Woman, because of that. How would I want Steven Universe to end? The same way I said, with a tenuous piece and the Diamonds trying to learn from Steven and the Crystal Gems, acknowledging that other ways of life might be at least as valid, if not more valid than their own. I think that's really the best ending that this show could have with the themes. Your mom jokes are incoming. Bring it on. Jasper needs to come back. I completely agree. Jasper is one of my top 3 possibilities for the character that Reunion is referring to. Do I plan on doing Transformers theories? Maybe. That actually reminds me. I'm going to try to wrap this up in about 35 minutes, by the way. 35 or 40 minutes, just so you guys know. Because I've got other stuff I need to get done today. We'll be doing more of these soon, so don't worry about that. Transformers theories. I don't know. But I want to go ahead and announce, after I am finished with Gravity Falls and caught up with Star, I'm going to be starting 2 new episode-by-episode review series. I'm going to be reviewing the original Teen Titans, culminating with a fan-requested review of Teen Titans Trouble in Tokyo, and then I'm going to be, at the same time, reviewing... Oh, no, you're fine. You're not keeping me from anything. I'm going to be reviewing Transformers Prime, episode by episode, which is going to be fun, because I love that show. I love both of those shows, but I remember Prime a little bit better because it's more recent. Am I going to any cons? I hope so. I just can't really afford to right now. Do I think Jasper is more likely to become a Crystal Gem or a lone wolf like Lapis? Probably like Lapis, at least at first, but I do think she's going to join the Crystal Gems, yeah. Yes, you hear dogs. I'll post some pictures of them or something later. I don't want to, because I'd have to lift them up here to get them up in the shot. I mean, like, there's one right here. Can you come up here? Can you come up here? Can you see him at all? There you go. This is Klaus. He's the big one. There's another one you can't see because he's smaller. But yeah, you guys get down now. Thank you. No, get down. Now they're all excited. Great, wonderful. When I review Avatar: The Last Airbender, Klaus, get down. Seriously. Seriously, I love you too. Get down. Maybe, I don't know that I could do it justice reviewing it, honestly, because it's such an iconic show. Yeah, stop that, please. And, I don't know that I can add anything to what's already been said about it. I think we'll see some kind of Pink Diamond flashback. I hope so, and I hope it's not just a answer-style flashback, though, because I don't think we can take that as reliable, you know? Where did I get my Snorlax hat? From some promotion that popped up on Facebook. I'll try to remember to post a link to it somewhere later so you guys can find it, like on my Tumblr or my Twitter or something. Which gems do I think will join the Crystal Gems? I think the off-colors are going to. Stop licking me. I think the off-colors are going to, definitely. Klaus, get down and stop licking me, please. Stop. I think the Famethist might. But the Famethist are still very loyal to Homeworld. They only really helped out Amethyst because she was one of them. So I don't know about them, but it's possible. I don't know. Jasper, Lapis might eventually become an official Crystal Gem. Do I think one of the Crystal Gems will get shattered? No, I don't. Thanks for the awesome theories and reviews. You gotta go. I'll see you later. Thank you for coming. Thoughts on the Zoomin? I wish we got more development for him, obviously. Was there a world war in Steven's universe since there's no Russia? It's not like there's no Russia. Only about half of it's gone. And it's, if I'm recalling correctly, don't quote me on this, it's some of the more inhospitable sections of it. So, I mean, there's a good chance most of the population is still there, just in different areas. So it's possible. I mean, I'm not confident in saying that there wasn't one. It may not have been quite as large scale. Do you think the human government are aware of the gems and the diamonds? Would they become an antagonist in the season? I think they're aware. I don't think they care about it, because if they did, we would have seen them by now. The worst canceled cartoon is Harvey Beaks. It shouldn't have been canceled. I never actually watched it, so I can't comment on that, but I'll take your word for it. Do I think the off-colors will come to Earth? Yes, I do. Absolutely. Do you think the gems could use the centipedal ship to get Lars back? No. The centipedal ship does not have a gravity drive. It would take hundreds, if not thousands of years to get to Homeworld in that ship. And the same amount of time to get back. Do I think the gems evolved from a lesser life form, or were they created? I think they were created, absolutely. They're pure technology. There is nothing biological about them at all. How do I think White Diamond will be introduced? In the trial. For all that was worth. I have no idea at this point. I thought for sure she'd be introduced in the trial. But that didn't happen. What do I think Aquamarine's job is on Homeworld? To be the voice of the Diamonds in situations where they don't want to be directly involved. That's what was implied by Garnet and Pearl's reaction to learning that that's the type of gem that was on Earth. Their first thought was that she must have been sent directly by the Diamonds, therefore I think she is meant to be a proxy for the Diamonds. Hates the Zoomans. Are you the only one who hates the Zoomans? Probably not. I mean, this is what I mean by I think they've been developed. I wish they'd been developed more. I can see them being really annoying for a lot of people. So, without additional development, they're always going to be annoying to those people, and that bums me out. Was Yellow Diamond Zircon green or yellow? It was yellow, obviously. She was standing in a blue light, so blue plus yellow is green. Made her look green. She was yellow. There's some proof online where people did some color stuff, some digital color stuff, to prove it. I don't have links to it, or I'd link it to you guys, but she's yellow, not green. My favorite theory that I've done. Favorite is a subjective term because I have favorites for different reasons. My lion theory, probably, because once I got to my actual thesis, which took frickin' forever, because I did all those other lion theories first. Once I got to my actual thesis, I was so sure of it, and it turned out to be pretty much spot on. So right now, that's probably my favorite. Which do I think is higher ranked, Aquamarine or Sapphire? An Aquamarine, probably. Do I collect Funko Pops? I would, but their eyes creep me the heck out. Any more on the cluster? What about it? Do I have thoughts on it? Do I think we'll see it again? Yes and yes. I don't think it's ever going to form, though. Who do I think created the gems? Some other humanoid alien species that may be extinct by now, for all we know. When will Jasper come back? No idea. I think Lars will get back to Earth using a homeworld ship. I think he'll coordinate with the crystal gems to steal a ship on homeworld and use the gravity drive to get back. Does it get frustrating to you that humans are so indifferent about the gems? I teeter back and forth on this. Sometimes it's like the charm of the show. Sometimes it just seems like a missed opportunity. I feel kind of the same way. But I don't think we need an intrusive government plot in the show or anything like that. And the whole point of humans being so indifferent about them is that the gems have been there forever, and it's just part of human nature not to really think about them anymore. Favorite gem is Garnet. Was my favorite DBZ Easter egg in Steven Universe. I really liked when Jasper backed into the ocean, the way that Vegeta backed into the lake on Namek. I thought that was really cool. It's just such a small moment, but it's one of those small moments that's really endured in people's minds, and it was cool to see it included. Give me the bits. I would if I had any, man. Fry bits are delicious. That's what you were going to say. I'm not sure what I said that you were going to say. It's 40 minutes from when I said it, so let's say about 10 after 6 Eastern time, quarter after 6 Eastern time-ish. Do I think there were meant to be more diamonds in the history of Homeworld? No, I don't think there were meant to be any diamonds. I think the diamonds were sort of an emergent program that took over the entire system, so to speak, and that there were only ever the 4. I haven't seen a lot of the designs from the art book yet. Haven't really had the chance to look at them yet. So I'll talk about the art book once I've really gotten a chance to go through everything about it. I want to put together a good review, talking about what it says about the production of the show and what designs are in it and what stuff is in it. Let's just wait on that. Do I think Steven will uncorrupt first? I still think it'll be Centipedal. Like, Jasper is another contender, but corruption has always been tied to Centipedal. Like, the development of the corruption story arc has always been tied to Centipedal, so I think she'll be uncorrupted first. Am I wearing pants right now? I'll go ahead and answer that one. Yes, I am. I wouldn't do that. Let's see. Do I watch Dragon Ball Super? Yes. Really liking it. I think it's had its ups and downs. The animation for the Beerus and the Resurrection F arcs was abysmal. But the the Blu-ray releases, rather, who cares about DVD anymore? The Blu-ray releases are fixing that. So, I mean, it's a good show. It's not great. I think that Z itself had bigger highs than this show has had so far, but the current arc, I think, has been pretty impeccable. So, do you think we'll see Bismuth again anytime soon? I hope so. And yeah, I do. I think it'll be pretty soon. My favorite book is Sabriel by Garth Nix. It's about an alternate version of Earth where a magical kingdom exists in a slightly different time frame, and people know about it and can travel between there and our Earth occasionally. And there's this girl who's kind of lived in both worlds, and now she has to come from our world back to that other world and save it. It's really interesting. It's one of my top 5 books I'd like to be seen adapted into a movie, but only if it's by the right people. I don't think White Diamond's corrupted, so I don't think we'll ever see an uncorrupted White Diamond. Well, I mean, we will when we finally see her, but it won't be because she was uncorrupted from a corrupted gem. Yes, I think kindergartens are the only way to create gems. My least favorite actual episode, or my least favorite episode including Say Uncle? Because if it's including Say Uncle, it's Say Uncle. If not, it's Rocknaldo. Favorite Pokemon, either Pikachu, Growlithe, or Espeon, I'm not really sure. I think we'll see White Diamond before Corruption Cure. I would think so, but at this point I don't know. Yes, I think Steven can only turn someone into a pink person if they're already dead. Otherwise, Greg would be a pink person because he's been healed by Steven. If I could be a gem, what would I be? Probably an Onyx. I like Onyx. Or a Peridot. Do I think Rose is influenced by the zoom-in? Maybe. We don't really have any confirmation that Rose was ever on the zoo, though, so I don't know. Do I think that the gem of a fusion is exclusive to that fusion, like a single gem garnet or a garnet that's composed of 2 different gems or a fusion? Blah, blah. Basically what you're asking is... Stop barking. Basically what you're asking is, do I think that the fusions that we've seen can exist as single gems or as different combinations of gems? No, I don't. I think that they can only exist as that specific fusion. Favorite Gravity Falls character, to talk over my stupid dogs. Mabel or Wendy, probably. Onyx is your gem. Yeah. Favorite human besides Steven? Connie. Connie's my favorite overall character in the show anyway, so. Why does the size of a gem change to match the fusion? It doesn't. It's an animation error. The crew has specifically said it's an animation error, that A gem cannot change size or shape. A gemstone can't. The gem itself can't, obviously. The gem's body. Why was Sugilite so unstable? Because the personalities of Garnet and Amethyst are unstable. I don't think they would be anymore. I think Amethyst has grown a lot, and I think Garnet's grown a lot, so I don't think they would be unstable anymore. But at the time, they were unstable. How am I doing? Good. Do I have any gaming consoles? Yeah. Since I moved into this house, I didn't unpack a lot of them. I only unpacked the PlayStation 3. But I have an old Xbox 360, an old Wii, an old PlayStation 2. I still have a GameCube somewhere. I'm getting the Switch next week, probably. Would Sugilite be less violent or vicious now? Yes, I think so. I don't really know how she'd be portrayed now. I just know, man, she's too cool of a character to have just the introduction of her that we got and nothing else. Am I a Super Smash Bros. Player? That depends on what you mean by that. Do you mean, do I play it well? If that's the case, no. But if you mean, do I play as only Pokemon characters and play poorly, then yes, occasionally I am a Smash Bros. Player. Bye. You're welcome. Do I think the only reason she hasn't appeared again is because of Nicki Minaj? Yes, I think that's what the joke in Know Your Fusion was there to tell us, that Nicki Minaj is too expensive, and they haven't been able to bring her back yet because of that. Don't worry, if I see somebody mentioning something Gravity Falls, I just let my eyes slide over it without actually taking anything. It's fine. Yeah, I think it was a mistake to cast Nicki Minaj. Like, I thought she was great as the character, don't get me wrong. But because she is so expensive, I think it was a mistake to cast her in that role because it's prevented the character from appearing again. Pikachu. I play as Pikachu the most. I liked Pokemon Trainer, too. I thought he was a really cool idea. Do I have the Gravity Falls Journal 3? No, I've been advised not to buy it until after I'm finished with the show. Because I guess it's not exactly the Journal 3 from the show. It's got other stuff in it. Probably, I would imagine, stuff that characters in the show, Dipper and maybe Ford, have added to the journal since the show was over. And I guess a lot of it's spoilery, so I haven't gotten it yet. Thoughts on Onion? I like him. I think he goes back and forth from being a portrayal of a delinquent and a portrayal of someone who is mentally handicapped. And I think that's kind of problematic. But overall, I think he's an interesting enough character. I don't dislike him. I'm sure they could find somebody who sounds like Nicki Minaj. But that's kind of disrespectful to the fans, because there are people who like Sugilite in part because Nicki Minaj plays Sugilite. Your mom thinks that Onion looks like ice cream. Yeah, I can see that. Where does Mr. Greg fall in the list of my favorite episodes? It's pretty close to the top. I don't really have a set list. It changes organically as my brain shifts around like jelly in my head. But it's definitely really high up there. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. Some of the best character development we've gotten in the entire show. What direction do I think it's taking right now? What direction would I like it to take, the show? I think we are heading into an arc where we're going to get to see a lot of the Crystal Gems interacting with Homeworld. And at this point in the show, I think that's exactly where it needs to be, so I wouldn't really take it anywhere other than that. Do I think Loris is a Crystal Gem now? No, but I definitely think he's going to become more involved with Steven and what Steven does. Kind of like a Connie Light type of character. Am I single? Yes, technically speaking. Do I think do I think it's strange that the crystal gems are no longer hunting down corrupted gems, or they caught them all? They do. They just do it off screen. So, not really, because it's the same kind of thing most shows do when they go from a more episodic format to a more arc-based format. I mean, my go-to example is Buffy. It's always Buffy. Buffy did that too. Every episode was about hunting an individual creature or some new vampire threat, and then as the show turned more into an arc-based show, it stopped being about that, and we just get indications occasionally that she still did that. It just all happened off screen now. Favorite Steven Universe song? Either Stronger Than You or Here Comes a Thought. It changes. My middle name is I would consider revealing my middle name at some point during this stream. How about that? I'll think about it. The Switch looks fun, but they're hard to find. Another question, if you don't mind. Do you think Season 5 will be the final season? No, I think we're going to get at least one more season, possibly two. And yeah, the Switch is really hard to find. I am right now torn between running between multiple Toys R Us's every single Saturday until I find one, or having to spend an extra $120 to order one off of Amazon, and it's killing me. What state was I born in? The state of confusion, mostly. But I also spend a lot of time in the state of awesomeness. I wonder if Fusion and Steven Universe are a reference to Dragon Ball Z. They probably are. There's a lot of other Dragon Ball Z references. They were probably at least inspired by DBZ fusions. I mean, there was such a big sticking point, especially early on, that the best way to initiate a gem fusion is by dancing. Literally a fusion dance. How do I think Pearl will feel when she's on Homeworld again? I have no idea. They've kept it so tight-lipped about how Pearl feels about anything, man. About when it comes to Homeworld. I mean, she's definitely nostalgic for it, but at the same time, she knows it's bad. That it's a bad place. I think we'll definitely find out more of her thoughts on Homeworld overall once she is on Homeworld again. How's my day been? Good. Man, okay, story time with AJ. I could not sleep last night. I laid awake for, man, I don't even know how long. 5 or 6 hours, probably. So I ended up sleeping really late into the day, and got a really late start on everything I had to do today, which is why I'm ending this in now about 20 minutes, and I'm just going to do another one at some point this week for you guys. But yeah, that's how my day's been. I mean, it's been productive since I woke up, so that's fine. Is it weird that I'm listening to Firefly sung by Steven Universe characters? Absolutely not. Sounds awesome. I think we'll get a movie? Probably. I mean, Rebecca Sugar has said she wants to make a movie, so, I mean, it may just be a TV movie, but I think it'll happen. Do I think Greg should move on from Rose and start dating again? Yes. Do I think she should, or do I think he should date Pearl? Absolutely not. Pearl's gay. At least, that's how I read it. No. No, Klaus, no. Did Pearl almost let Steven die in Rose's scabbard? Yes. Am I religious? No. I will say that I'm not an atheist, but I'm also not, technically speaking, religious. I'm more spiritual. Do I think Steven Universe will end on a cliffhanger? No. Will Greg ever fall in love again? I think it's possible. I mean, I got a little bit of a feeling that they were setting up that blonde Zoo-Man person, the blonde girl, to be a possible... Agnostic isn't the right word for it either. Spiritual is the more accurate word. I got the sense they were maybe setting her up to be a potential love interest for him in the future, or at least potential enough that it said to us that he might eventually have another love interest in the future. Do I plan to do videos on how each gem references their real-world counterpart? No, because I don't think they do all that much. They don't really share many properties with their real-world counterparts. Maybe at some point I'll talk about like their color schemes and their theming and stuff, but it's not really on my radar at the moment. I'm freaking cute, thank you. I just answered this. Yes, I think we'll get a movie. You may have heard that since you asked it. I don't know. I think that Steven will become less defensive with his fighting? Probably not. He's really into this whole me and Connie are a team thing he's got going on in there. I mean, their fusion is the perfect opportunity to combine Connie's training in offensive style and his training in defensive style. So I don't see why he would need to become more offensive in his style. What do I think Bismuth meant when she called Amethyst deep cut? I think it was just supposed to be a term of endearment. I don't think it meant anything. Will I grow my beard? No, this is actually as long as I like it anyway, so I'm getting ready to trim it back down. The razor I use, the little head that controls how long or how short it trims it is broken. I need to go buy a new one, and I'm too lazy to do it. Pearl's secret rap career. I did not see that. I heard about it though. Yes, yes, I want Stevani to meet at Opal. Sorry for stuttering there for a second. Do I think the show could go longer than 2 seasons? I don't think it would. I don't think it needs to. I think it would draw it out too much. There's another one I saw, and now I can't find it. I'll just do this one. What 2 or more gems would I like to see fuse? Man, I really want to see a Peridot fusion, and I really want to see a Lapis fusion that's not Malachite. So let's just say the 2 of them. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Yes, I like Samurai Jack. The whole thing except for the last episode. And only even then the last part of the last episode. Because it broke the rules of the universe and it was stupid. Are there any specific real-life gems you want to see as characters in the show? I'd like to see an Onyx in the show. That would be kind of cool. I think they're going to bring back Bismuth, yes. Do I think we will see a full Stevani fight sequence, like for the longer part of an episode? Would I like to see it? Yes and yes. Thoughts on Yokai Watch? It's not the first Pokemon ripoff that's ever gotten popular. But I really do think that's what it is. I think it's trying to cash in on the continued enduring popularity of Pokemon. I don't have anything against it. Like, I'm not saying that it's terrible for that. I don't like the character designs, like the creature designs specifically, nearly as much as shows like Digimon and Pokemon and stuff. I don't find them as endearing or as charming. I don't think they're gonna remain popular for as long, but it's a perfectly fine property. I think it's all right. Do you think we'll see more metallic gems like Bismuth? Maybe. I don't know. But, I mean, keep in mind that Bismuth is a metal that is used to make gemstones. That's why she's a gem. She's not specifically in the show as a metal. She's in the show as a gem. I'm glad that you're happy that I'm responding to your comments. The moment you realized that Opal spoke in only 1 episode. Yeah, I guess she did, didn't she? It's the same issue. They don't always have the... Like, it's the same issue as Nicki Minaj. They don't always have the voice actress on it, so it's difficult. I've not seen Battle for Muni, no. What other humans do you think Steven is close enough to fuse with? I think he could fuse with Sadie. I think he could fuse with Lars. There's a couple more I see that I want to answer too. Maybe Greg. That'd be a little weird, but I could see it happening. Thoughts on Digimon? I really like Digimon. I thought some of the series were a little underwhelming compared to other ones, but like I thought Cross Wars was okay. The dubbed version, Digimon Fusion, was terrible. I thought Cross Wars was okay, but then its second season just ruined the whole thing. I still prefer Adventure and Tamers, but Try is, I think, doing really well. Overall, as a property, I absolutely love Digimon. I adore it. It's one of my favorites. Thoughts on Undertale? I liked it. I've only played a kind of neutral run so far, but I mean, it's cool. I like all the characters. How do I get started on a review, and how do I prefer to work? I work in little bits throughout the day. I get started by, I watch the show once, then I'll go through it again and make notes, and then I create an outline. I don't create a full script. I create an outline that I want to follow, and then read through the outline a couple of times, and then I record it and edit it. It's really that simple. But I do it in stages with breaks, because I have ADHD, and it makes it easier for me to get stuff done. Is Steven too close to Garnet to fuse with her? No, I don't think so. Is fusion sex/sexual? I think it can be, but it's not always. The crew themselves have said that fusion is representative of any relationship type, friendship, familial relationships. But I think the fact that it can be occasionally sexual makes it a little weird thinking about certain fusion pairings. You think Pearl killed Pink Diamond? I mean, she could have. It's not like I don't think she could have, but people specifically saw Rose do it, and there is absolutely no reason why Pearl would have shapeshifted into Rose. It just doesn't make sense. She would have been much better off fighting in the form that she was used to, without the stress of shapeshifting preventing her from acting as quickly as she might otherwise. Yes, it can. Steven Power, yes it can. I'm going to leave it at that. Well, yeah, of course she could have shattered Pink Diamond, but why would she turn into Rose? What would be the point of doing that? Even if Rose told her to shatter Pink Diamond, I don't see any reason why she would have shapeshifted into Rose to do it. She didn't need to shapeshift into Rose to get close. She didn't need to shapeshift into Rose to be proficient in battle. There's no reason for her to do that. And people did still see Rose do it. So whatever happened, someone in the shape of Rose did it. And I think most of the evidence still points to it being the actual Rose Quartz. What advice would I give to someone who's starting a review channel? Read other people's reviews, not to rip from them, but to understand the kind of things that people tend to look for in reviews. Then decide what of that stuff you enjoy talking about, you think is the most relevant, and build the structure of your reviews around that. Like, I tend to keep mine very short, very bite-sized, and I talk more about the structure of the story and the feel of the show overall, and how that particular story contributed to it. So, talking about shows, obviously, not like movies or whatever. I tend to consider things as part of whatever franchise they exist as a part of, if they do exist as a part of a franchise. Stuff like that. Those are the things that I concern myself with. So kind of find the things that interest you to talk about regarding whatever you're planning to review, and build the structure of your review show around that. Is it possible that Garnet's ability to connect her mindscape to Stevani is a fusion thing or just a Garnet thing? I don't think Garnet did it at all. I think she used meditation to trigger Steven's astral projection power in Stevani. And then it was actually Stevani that connected their minds together. It'd be great if Steven fused with both Lars and Sadie at the same time. Yeah, it'd be a little weird, though. Because I'm pretty sure Cover Your Ears young children. I'm pretty sure Lars and Sadie have slept together. So sticking Steven into a fusion with them would be weird. Do you think that there are gems made specifically to power gem technology instead of fight? Yes, but I don't think they're conscious. I don't think they're actually living gems, because otherwise the crystal gems wouldn't have been so surprised when they found out that the gem in the mirror was alive. Why have we not heard anything about White Diamond yet? Because they're putting off her reveal, so it's more built up and seems bigger. That's the only reason I can think of at this point. Island Adventure, the fusion. Yeah. Do I think Pink Diamond shattering occurred before or after what? Did you say something earlier that lent context to that? I don't think so. Oh, there's one I missed though that I'd like to talk about. What are my thoughts on the Pokemon anime? Thought it started out really well, but I think about the time they decided to stop giving anybody real character development, it went really downhill. That was after the Johto season. There's stuff where the writers on the show specifically said they only gave Togepi to Misty to neuter her character and make her less dynamic. They decided they wanted to transform her from an outspoken female character to a submissive and nurturing female character, so they gave her a baby. I think that's when the show started to go downhill, and everything. Most everything after that has been garbage. Sorry if I offended people, but that's just how I feel about it. What do I think about Season 4 as a whole? Steven Universe Season 4? Thought it was good. Thought it was a little more discombobulated than some past seasons, but it was fine. Do I think Pink shattering occurred before or after Bismuth was bubbled? After, by several hundred years. That's been... I mean, no one's come out on the show and flat out said Bismuth was bubbled hundreds of years before Pink Diamond was killed, but if you look at the timeline, everything we know about the timeline, that's been confirmed in the show. It was at least 500 years after Bismuth was bubbled. Thank you for answering my questions today, AJ. Your reviews and reviews contribute so much to my appreciation of the original work, while also helping me to think through and articulate things. I'm glad. Also so inspiring with how you organize tons and present things clearly. Good night. Looking forward to more. Good night to you. I'm not super organized, though. I'm really not. I'm just really good at pretending like I am. How powerful Steven is worries me a bit. I mean, he can possess people and bring people back from the dead. I don't think he's becoming a Mary Sue type. He's got good development to go with his powers, but I do think they need to stop. I think they've given him a few too many powers. Am I in the closet? No, my closet's over there. I'm in my bedroom. I know what you mean. I'm not. To get all of that out of the way once and for all, I'm Ace. I'm Gray Ace, but I am straight romantically. So there you go. No, I'm not in the closet. I'm assuming that's what you meant. If that's not what you meant, I apologize. Like, if you were asking if I'm actually in a closet, then I apologize. No, I'm not actually in a closet. Technically speaking, who could actually use the breaking point on a diamond, considering that they are so big? Any gem. Gems are incredibly fast and jump a lot, so I don't see any problem. I don't see any gem having any problem using the breaking point on a diamond, considering that they can get to the diamond in the first place. How could they get close enough? Strategy, sneaking around a lot, force of numbers, shape-shifting into someone trusted by the diamond. There's a lot of different ways. It would just vary from situation to situation which one they went with. Yeah, it was really heavily implied that Sadie and Lars had been together, wasn't it? Have I my stutter's really bad today. Have I ever read the New Home AU by Kibbles Bits? I don't think so. What's inside the chest and lion's mane? I have no idea at this point. I thought we would have found out by now. Probably just more treasures of Rose, like more stuff that Rose wanted Steven to have. It's probably not going to be anything super substantial, but it's also possible that the shards of pink diamond are in there too. I think that's possible. That's the theory floating around that I find the most likely, other than the idea that it's just not really anything. It's more of a webcomic, this AU. I'll look into it. Sup? What if Steven can only resurrect one person? I don't see why he would only be able to resurrect one person. That's not how science works. You can't just, like, as long as you have the same resources available, you can perform an experiment multiple times. You can perform a process multiple times, and as far as we know, as far as we've seen, Steven still has all the same resources available to him. He just needs another freshly dead person. That's really the only thing he's missing. Do you think the fusion of the current 3 diamonds could be a black diamond? No, I don't. The primary colors make black, but the diamonds are not primarily colored. They're blue, yellow, and white. They would make a light green diamond. What if Steven left a human fusion that has 2 more humans? Would it stay together? I don't think so. I think he would. I think his gem would need to sustain the fusion, so I think they would just all fall apart. Very good point. I'm not sure what I made a good point about, but thank you. Is it possible for a gem shard to form a head or just arms and legs? Probably just arms and legs, because Paradox said they don't really have functioning brains anymore, so I think that's where the no head thing comes in. Do I think Garnet is a good leader? No. I think she has moments where she's a good leader. She's a good leader in certain situations, but overall, I don't think she is. Hi AJ, I love your channel. Thank you very much. My favorite Yu-Gi-Oh series, probably either the original or Arc 5 was really good. I really like GX too, like, especially later on. I don't know, it's hard to pick. Yu-Gi-Oh! R, the manga. Yu-Gi-Oh! R is my favorite. Well, yeah, a gem's brain is in their gem. That's true. But I think, like, symbolically speaking, the crew has chosen to make it so shards can't form heads because they don't have functioning brains in them. It's supposed to be a visual thing, and therefore I think it is part of the canon that they can't because of that choice made by the crew. Favorite gem is Garnet. Do I think Steven can get someone pregnant? Absolutely. He's a human. Why not? Favorite Dragon Ball series? I mean Z for overall series. My favorite arc is probably the Majin Buu arc, like the Fat Buu arc. I'm right-handed. Is the blue orb an aquamarine? I'm not sure what blue orb you're talking about. Considering Steven's organic biology, do you think Smokey has new weaknesses / strength than if formed with Rose? Yeah, probably. I'm just not really sure what they would be. Favorite Dragon Ball character? I really like Majin Buu. I thought it was really cool when they made him into a hero. I thought he was just going to be a joke character, but now it looks like they're trying to make him kind of a comedy relief character and a fighting character, but I think it's a mistake. I think they should pick one or the other, but I really like him. My favorite serious character, though, is probably Vegeta. Do I think that shards confuse naturally even though they're broken? Probably not. My favorite Megazord. Interesting question. Probably the Wild Force Megazord. It had a really organic look when it was combined together. Very good proportions. And yet the individual Zords did a really good job of looking like their respective animals. So the design was really solid. It was a good season, too. Anyway, either that one or... I mean, the original is such an icon. I can't not mention it. But I really like the Thunder Megazord, too. And then just recently there was the Dino Charge Megazord. I thought that one was really, really neat. Did not have very humanoid proportions. But it was still pretty neat. Very dynamic. Do I think we'll see the moon base again? Yes. What is the blue orb on the moon? Is it blue? It looked more gray to me. I think it's going to turn out to be some kind of power source, but I really don't know. There's really not much to go on in regards to that. Do I think White Diamond is some way related to the moon orb? Possibly. I doubt it, though. I mean, why would she not take it with her when she left? Because she definitely left. All three of the diamonds left at the same time. That's when they did corruption. So we know that she left Earth and probably passed right by the moon. Why would she not get it? Do I think Steven can bring a human and a gem into a 3-species fusion? Probably. Yes, I like Adventure Time. I'm really behind on it, though. Am I looking forward to continuing watching and reviewing Star? Yes. What's my favorite Tim Burton movie? Can I pick Batman? I like Batman. Do I think Pink Diamond can come back? No. White Diamond is in the poster. Which poster? Yes, I remember when we thought Rose was Pink Diamond. Man, that was a very persistent, very wrong theory, wasn't it? Even I got in on that one. I wasn't ever to a point where I would say I was 100% convinced, but I bought into it. Would I like to see a Stevani Smoky Quartz, like a fusion of Connie, Steven, and Amethyst? Yeah, absolutely. Do I think Steven confused with animals? Maybe. I don't know. San Diego Comic-Con poster. I haven't seen that yet. I'll give it a look later. And if White Diamond is in it, I'll post something about it somewhere. What do I think is Steven's lifespan, since he rarely seems to age? It's not that he doesn't age. He's aging at a normal rate, because he outgrows his shoes at a normal rate. He's a late bloomer. But, his lifespan is whatever he wants it to be. They've already confirmed that he can control his aging process. He just needs to learn how to do it. Do I think the moon orb can be involved in corruption? Again, no, I don't think so. Corruption involved sound, so it would have had to have been used in the atmosphere. Why would the diamonds create a weapon that has to be used in the atmosphere, use it in the atmosphere of the Earth, and then take it to the moon and leave it there? Doesn't make sense. The temple doesn't have a heart. It's not actually a heart. It's the gemstone powering it. They just call it the heart because it looks like a heart. You guys need to type faster. Actually, let's go look up this San Diego Comic-Con poster right now. I can't put it in the video, or at least if I can, I don't know how. There's probably ways you can do that. Let's see. Steven Universe, San Diego Comic-Con 2017 poster. It looks like, is that Vox did a thing about it? I see what you mean. The white shape that's kind of in between the two diamonds. Yeah, that could be like a white diamond silhouette, implying that maybe she's going to get a reveal at Comic-Con or in some content at Comic-Con. Yeah, I see what you mean. It's definitely possible. Let's see. What have I missed since I've been gone? Could a full gem fuse with a gem shard? I doubt it. I guess the San Diego Comic-Con poster has a little white spiked star. Some people think it's White Diamond hair. Yeah, I think it could definitely be. I don't know for sure it is. But it definitely could be. Did I want to punch Bloodstone as much as you did? Probably, yeah. Maybe more. Since Steven can control his aging, could he and Connie fuse and they would be able to, or he'd be able to keep her alive longer than a human normally could live? I definitely think so. And I think that's one of the directions they might be heading. because Stevani is kind of, in terms of like fusion stuff, has kind of become Garnet's, what's where I'm looking for, not apprentice, protege. So I think it's definitely possible that Stevani could become some kind of permafusion, like Garnet over time. Is mayonnaise an instrument? Do I think Bismuth will return? Yes, and I think she will return either because they will need her to get to Homeworld or to get something off of Homeworld, or they will need information from her, and she will turn out to be remorseful now that she has realized 100% that Steven is not Rose, and they will be able to actually work with her. Do I have the NES Classic Edition? No. I missed it. Now they don't sell them anymore, at least not for anything less than incredible markups. I'm hoping they'll do a second release of it, and I am planning on getting the SNES Classic Edition, or whatever they're calling that one. It's significantly cheaper, and I guess there's like a third-party NES Classic Edition that's coming out eventually at some point I heard about. I don't know for sure. I might get that instead. I don't know. I'm really sad that I missed it, though. Though, to be fair, I probably wouldn't have played it as much as I think I would have, because I was more of a Super Nintendo kid than I was a Nintendo kid. So I'll probably enjoy the Super Nintendo version better. Especially since it's got Star Fox. What, Star Fox 2 is the one that was never released in the US. I'm a huge Star Fox fan, so well, I'm a huge fan of the gameplay. Not so much the lore, but I'm a huge Star Fox fan. I'm sure I'll really enjoy that. Do I think the cluster will infuse and come out as a gem army? No, I don't think it can unfuse. It's a bunch of corpses stitched together into something that is not a complete person. So I don't see how it could separate again. Do I ever think we'll see the original Crystal Gem army? I really doubt it. Why did the diamonds wait 5,000 years to destroy the Earth? Because they decided to use the cluster to do it, and that's how long it took the cluster to gestate. I mean, remember, 5,000 years to them is like maybe a decade at most to us. It's not really that much time. It's not really a long period of time, especially considering military operations. The orb was probably the power source that kept the Lunar Sea Spire stable. Yeah, that's my thought too. That's why I think it's most likely the power source. And that I think they'll eventually need it for something. Like, I thought maybe they would need it to power the drill, but then they used Peridot's ship and its power source for that. Why do I like Steven Universe? Good story, good characters. Occasionally, good art. No, the art's fine. It's just some of it annoys me a little bit. I like that it's inclusive. I like that it preaches tolerance. But I mean, for the most part, it's just I really like the characters. I think it's a very well characterized show. My favorite Star Fox game is Star Fox 64. That's the only one I've ever completed, too. But, I mean, of the ones I've gotten to play, I've never disliked any of them. Do I think Peridot knows what the moon orb is? Probably. Neither she doesn't right now. I'm sure she could identify what it is if she had the opportunity. Who are some potential fusions you would like to see? I said this earlier, but I really want to see Lapis fuse with someone other than Jasper, and I really want to see Peridot fuse in general. So any fusions involving them, and maybe even a fusion of the two of them, that would kill two birds with one stone. I'm going to give this another couple of minutes, and then I'm going to call it quits for today, because it's later than I planned. Yeah, thanks you guys for coming. Celebrate my 2-year anniversary as a theorist. I really appreciate it. Do I think Steven Universe would be better as an Adult Swim show? No, because I think the light tone is part of the charm. Have I seen Guardian of the Galaxy 1 or 2? Yes, I've seen both. I loved them both. I don't agree with people who say that 2 was significantly worse than the first one. I think it was at least on par, and maybe even better. it just took a different avenue than the first one did with its characterization. It decided to focus on minor characters and villains rather than the heroes, which was, I think, a really bold move. Do I think it's convenient that Peridot appeared right when the cluster was going to destroy the world? No, they sent her to assess the cluster and make sure it was on track to do just that. So, I mean, it was on purpose. Can gem shards be fixed? I don't think so. The crew has talked about how death of gems is being shattered and it's meant to be permanent, so I don't think so. Yes, I think we'll see Centipedal again. I think she's going to be a first gem that gets uncorrupted, and I think that's going to happen fairly soon. Will the off-colors go to Earth? Yes, I think so. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and call it here, guys. Again, thank you for coming. Go watch all my videos 100 times each so I can get some money. No, I'm kidding. Seinfeld's good. I never watched the whole thing, though. Do I think we'll see new fusions soon? Probably. Miraculous Ladybug's fine. I need to watch more of it, though. Alright. Bye-bye. Pushing my dog off again. And we'll do another one of these sometime this week. I'm not sure yet, though, when that's going to be. I'll let you guys know.